What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Edwards, live from my bedroom. I got a very special guest. I don't even want to call him a guest at this point, man. I'm actually gonna call him a co-host on this episode of Josh's
Wow, let's go.
Proximity and also on Risky Powerhouse. I wanted him to just go ahead and introduce himself and his podcast and what he's been accomplishing since the last time that we have talked. So without further ado, let me go ahead and hear from my brother.
What's up, everybody? It's a pleasure to be on Josh's Proximity once again. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is number 3. It's just been fun, creating content. I'm diving into the culture over the past few weeks. I built my channel up. We've been discussing great basketball topics, having guests on, giveaways. We're growing fast, get active with the Risky Powerhouse. It's Risky with 2 S's, RISSKY _Powerhouse on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. Right now, as we speak, we are up to, let's give a live update right now. We are up to, right now it is 12:07 on Tuesday, and we are up to 821 subscribers. We have a video that's dropping in the next 30 minutes or so go check that out. Yeah, man, it's the Risky Powerhouse. Everything NBA coming your way. You guys will see me again. So keep the love coming, man. I appreciate it. What's up with you, Josh? How you been doing, bro?
Man, I've been good, bro. One, I just want to congratulate you on starting your own podcast, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. You really inspired me a lot, bro. I think I'm about to be getting a green screen, bro. So I mean, that's how much impact that you've had on me, whether you know it or not, man. I think it just gives you obviously a different feel, man. And I cannot say anything, I have nothing but praise for you and your podcast, bro. The episodes, they're coming out fast, they're coming out often, bro. And that's what you need to do to grow. And that's what you've been doing, bro. So again, Risky Powerhouse with 2 S's, RISSKY _Powerhouse. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, Kendall.
Let's get it.
You are a Colts fan.
Yes,
talk to me
sir.
about the Indianapolis Colts, man. Y'all just beat who I had last week on Josh's Proximity Hierarchy ranking. There was the number 2 team, I believe, last week, heading into week 15 it was. There was the second best team in the NFL. So just tell me about your team and what you have seen from them.
Well, I grew up, I was born in 1996, so I didn't start, really processing sports, till the mid-2000s era, Peyton Manning, the LaDainian Tomlinsons of the world, Antonio Gates of the world, Sean Taylors of the world. That was kind of my era of, where I became a football fan. And, Peyton Manning was my guy. Obviously, he had polarizing numbers and ability, and I just respected his ability to command, without, I kind of always had like this Brady Manning thing. The media made us draw a side with those two. So I went with the Manning side because it seemed like Brady had everything tailor-made, whereas Manning was creating his greatness. You know what I mean? Individually, whereas Brady, he had the defense, he had the coaching, he had the system and all of those things. Manning was the system. And that's what made me fall in love with the Colts. I was always a tall guy, skinny guy. Marvin Harrison, he got me into that the love of that era. Fast forward past Andrew Luck, fast forward to up until now. We bring in Carson Wentz, and it really put red flags in the back of my mind because I already knew what Carson was going to bring. Honestly, we knew exactly what he was. After the injury, he had one good year, and people held him to that standard. People held him to that standard for the entirety of his career, whereas he haven't been the same since that injury. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was an ACL.
Yeah, ACL, tore his whole knee up.
And, it really derailed his individual ability. Now, he still have the mental acumen that of an NFL quarterback, yes. However, his ability is just, he's good. He's not great. He's average. And that's okay because, we were a team with a great defense. We had a developing running game with Jonathan Taylor emerging and also having Marlon Mack at the time when we got Carson Wentz. Marlon Mack was still doing pretty good. Yeah, he was doing pretty good. So, with that coming in, I had the mentality that we know we ran the ball, we played defense. Carson was a good manager. Don't turn the ball over. We got to have a great season. And right now, our Achilles heel and all of our losses have been what? Carson Wentz turnovers. Carson Wentz bad plays down the stretch. We get a big lead. We go into the third quarter. We don't run the ball. We run our offense through Carson Wentz. And, that always comes back to shoot us in the foot. However, when you see all of our big wins and all of the games that we've dominated, it have been games where we were a run-heavy offense. Give that ball to Jonathan Taylor 20, 22, 23, 24, 25 plus times. And, he haven't let us down yet. Him individually have more 150-yard rushing games than the entirety of the NFL. He's leading the NFL in scrimmage yards. He's leading the NFL in touchdowns. He's in rushing touchdowns. He's leading the NFL in rushing yards. He's just really being, the best running back of this particular season. I won't say he's the best in the NFL because I'm not ignorant to who Derrick Henry truly is. However, I will say that with Derrick being out and Jonathan stepping up, he's opening the door for someone to surpass him, just like Todd Gurley was surpassed, just like other running backs in previous, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, just like all of those guys got surpassed because they were inactive while the next guy was playing out of his mind. So, Jonathan Taylor, he's stepping into that number one role. I hope this is not an Ezekiel Elliott type of year. I hope he can sustain this level for 5, 6, 7, 8 years maybe. And, we'll be a good franchise moving forward with our defense and our run game for sure.
All right, so now you made some good points, man. I think he's been in some MVP talks. I think in order for him to get the MVP, one, he has to do two things, at least one of the two things. I think that he has to eclipse 2,000 rushing yards. I also believe he's got to break LaDainian Tomlinson's total touchdown record in the season, which was 31 touchdowns, bro. And he did that in 16 games. JT right now, he's only at 17 total touchdowns, 15. Or I think he may be at 19 total touchdowns, 17 rushing. So, he got 11 touchdowns to go, if that, with 3 games left.
There's only 3 games left. He's not
That's what I'm saying. So, he's got to do at least 5 touchdowns the next 2 games to even have a shot. And that's some back-to-back games. But y'all are currently 8-6. So, I'm going to read for you right now the AFC standings. All right. Number 1, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 2, we got this was last week's standing. Number 2, we had the Patriots. No. This is current standings. My fault. Yeah. So number 1, the Chiefs. Number 2, the Patriots. Number 3, the Titans. Number 4, the Bengals. Number 5, the Indianapolis Colts. Number 6, the LA Chargers. And number 7 rounds it off is the Buffalo Bills. So right now, y'all currently sitting at the 5th spot. Do y'all see yourself making a shot at least into the top 3 at 8-6?
Yes, I do. And, it's unfortunate that we lost to the Tennessee Titans twice this year in those division games, knowing that was going to be, our biggest roadblock heading into the playoffs to securing our division. We knew the Tennessee Titans was going to be the only challenge in our division. We lost to them twice, one of those games being in overtime where Carson Wentz turned the ball over in the 4th quarter and opened the door for them to come back. With our 3 games left, we have the Cardinals, which is going to be a tough one. With D-Hop being out, though, that might open up the door for our defense to be able to load up on some of their secondary and tertiary options. We also have the Oakland Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, we, according to, just where we are right now, we have to win out, 3-0. But I realistically think we can lose to the Cardinals and win the last 2, Raiders and Jaguars, and, still be number 1 in our division, depending on how Tennessee holds up. But, it sucks when you got to depend on another team to lose. However, 2-1 should still get us a wild card spot. 3-0 will give us our division, so I'm pretty confident.
Okay, all right. Nah, that's really good. Man, y'all had the Raiders and y'all got the Jags, you said?
Yes, sir. The Raiders and the Cardinals, Raiders, Jags. That's the order.
Yeah, so I think where y'all messed up is, you said it perfectly. Y'all lost the 2 games to the Titans to really, even if y'all split it, bro, y'all are 9-5. You feel me? And y'all are in the 3rd seed at least. And y'all have a shot of clinching the AFC South. So y'all need the Titans to at least lose 2 games in order to clinch that. But I like where y'all at right now, man. Last week I had y'all at number 6 or number 5 on my power rankings, bro. So I can see y'all easily progressing into at least the top 4 spots, man. So give me right now your predictions. This is off the top of how the AFC is going to shake up. All right. So who is going to be in the AFC championship game?
The AFC championship game. I want to go just with the throwback matchup just because there's history there. It will be a lot built up into it. But just imagine if we met the Patriots in the AFC Championship. Last year we could have been in the AFC Championship, but we didn't go. We on 4th down going into the half, we went for a touchdown instead of taking a field goal when we were up 13-3. We came out of halftime, gave up a touchdown to the Buffalo Bills. They took the lead in the top of the 3rd. Whereas if we would have kicked that field goal, even if they scored a touchdown, we still would have been up a touchdown, So, we made a lot of mistakes in that game. We got in the red zone 6 times, and we only cashed out 3 of those 6 times, and we lost a 1-possession game. So we could have been in the AFC Championship last year. So it's not asinine for me to believe that we could get there again get to that same position that we were last year, this year. But I would love to see another throwback in the snow, Colts versus Patriots. No superstar quarterback. It's just going to be all good football, all good defense. It's going to be defense. No elite quarterback. So it doesn't go with the narrative that everybody wants to see. Mahomes versus Brady. They gonna sell. That's easy to sell. How do you sell defense versus coach in the snow? You know what I mean? So I think that'll be an interesting matchup just for playoff football. Defensive intensity, low scoring, and I think that'll promote good playoff football. Colts Patriots.
Okay, Colts Patriots. I'm going to say Kansas City. I can see you guys. Yeah, I'll probably say Kansas City and the Colts maybe. But I mean, we're seeing this throughout the NFL. The Ravens literally were the 1 seed 2 weeks ago. They're not kicking field goals. They're not taking the points. And now they have fallen out of AFC contention. But let's go ahead and let's switch into topics of what you talk about damn near every day on your episode, man. Let's talk NBA basketball, man. So
yes, sir.
First of all, what's going on with the Lakers? What's going on with Anthony Davis, bro? Give me some insight, bro, please.
Well, we all know that, with the way Anthony Davis is, the way his body is, just with recent history and the beginning of his career, he's not the most durable player in the league. His body doesn't sustain through a high toll. And, with LeBron being out for the first 13 games or so, I'm not sure exactly what the number is. I believe it's between 10 and 15, somewhere in there. Anthony Davis and Russ had an opportunity to go out there and stink it up. So it put a bad look on how good the Lakers could possibly be, being that the number 1 ball handler wasn't there for, the first particular part of the season that they started off 500. With that being said, you put a lot of onus on Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis was having a pretty good year, honestly, in my personal opinion, up until, LeBron getting back. I think the main reason they've been losing is Russell Westbrook. Now, since LeBron been back, Russ has been way more efficient from the floor. He's turned the ball over half as less as he did when he was on his own. He was averaging 6 turnovers a game for the first 10 games, which is, nobody can win when your number 1 ball handler turns the ball over 6 times. I don't care how many assists you get. And then also he was super duper inefficient. So, Anthony Davis, he was one of the worst mid-range shooters in the league and 3-point shooters in the first half of the season, along with Russell Westbrook's inefficiency in ball and turnovers. What they were doing really bad is things that lead to the ultimate detriment of a team straight up. Like, there's no second. Like, you don't rebound the ball well, you can still do a couple of things to cancel out rebounding or whatever. But when you turn the ball over and you give up possessions and you miss a lot of shots, you're giving other teams more opportunities than you, on top of you not being that good defensively. You know what I mean? So it's like, they killed themselves the Carson Wentz way. You don't have you turn the ball over and you give the other team more opportunities than you, and you lose by 1 or 2 or 3 possessions that you could have had back in the first and second quarters. So, now that LeBron back, Anthony Davis goes out. I expect the Russell Westbrook, LeBron James Lakers to be better than the Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis Lakers. You know, they're one game over 500 right now. It's still not too much space between the 4 seed. You know, there's only 2 games separating the 4 seed, so they can make a run. We haven't seen the Lakers put together 4 or 5 wins in a row yet this year, so they only need one of those runs. You know, they get one run before the All-Star break, they should be a solid top 4 team in the Western Conference heading into All-Star.
So right now they're the 7th seed, correct?
Yes.
All right. So and Anthony Davis is out for 4 weeks with a torn MCL, right?
Yeah. Sprain MCL. Sprain MCL.
Sprain. Okay, yeah, because I tore mine, and bro, it's painful, man. Like when you're trying to push off it and like even bend it, it's just not going to go the way that you want to. So now I'm just going to give you let's do a little rundown, man, on Christmas games. All right.
Right.
Topic, I'm going to give you a couple games. I'm going to spill it to you real fast. Just give me who you think is going to win and by what's the points. Hawks versus Knicks.
Hawks, Knicks. I'm going with the Hawks. We're going 111 to 102.
All right. Celtics versus the Bucks.
Now, I like the Bucks in this matchup, depending on the health of Giannis. You know, Giannis been in the health and safety protocol. He have to get back in rhythm. We know his game depends a lot on his on how in shape he is, how high his motor can go. So, you know, I would like to go with the Bucks. With a score, I'll probably go Bucks 113 to 105.
Okay. Warriors versus the Suns.
Warriors Suns gonna be a good game. I think the defense of the Suns been improving. Even with Devin Booker being out, that opens up more room for 3 and D players with Chris Paul handling the ball a lot more. I know Golden State been on fire, Curry getting his groove back, but he been kind of inefficient the last 3 weeks. I'm gonna go Suns 108 to 106 in a close one.
Okay. Lakers versus the Nets.
Lakers Nets. It depends on, obviously we know Kyrie, KD, Harden been out in the protocols. Kyrie just got back, so they have to put him in protocols. I haven't been tripping on Kyrie entering the protocols. That should have been inspected from fans just because of the fact that he's been away from the team. Mm-hmm. But if all three of those guys are back on Christmas Day, you know, they're gonna erupt the crowd, they're gonna enlighten the crowd on what they could have really been for the first few games if Kyrie would have, you know, maybe cooperated. However, I'm not knocking them for not getting the vaccine. However, I'm just saying in terms of the team building, getting better, and, you know, sacrificing yourself. Not saying sacrifice yourself, but, you know, you got to sacrifice. And he didn't do that. But, you know, now they got an opportunity to show everybody. And, you know, on Christmas Day, that's going to be the day. They're going to put up 130 points on the Lakers. It'll be 130-111 blowout Nets.
Mavs versus the Jazz.
Now, I don't really put too much stock into this game. You know, Luka been out. The Utah Jazz been solid. Rudy Gobert is really making a push for MVP case. I don't think he's going to be a top 5 MVP, but, you know, top 7 would be very impactful with the way he plays. You know, that just lets you know that his impact is far greater than being able to post up and things of that nature. You know, he had a 20-20 game last night. He had a game with 20 rebounds and 4 blocks about 3 games ago, so he's steamrolling. I'm going to go Jazz in a blowout 122-109.
All right, so there's been some huge discussions on, and we didn't talk about this as well. There's been some huge discussions on MVP talks. Now, yes. I've watched what you have stated on social media. Right now, front runner of the MVP. I mean, the front runner for
MVP can't be no other option other than Kevin Durant of the Brooklyn Nets. With James Harden going out, Kyrie haven't played 1 game. Kevin Durant has been 3-0. He's averaging about 40. Shooting over 50% from the field. You know, dude has just been nuclear for the last few games. He started off, you know, with the first 20 to 25 games, him and Steph were kind of close. Steph fell off chasing the record because of his inefficiency. Although the team has still been winning games, you know, his individual performance hasn't been there at a time where Kevin Durant has been at his best. And, you know, Kevin Durant definitely have taken over the race. If I had to go 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I would go Kevin Durant, Curry, Jokic, Giannis.
Okay, see, now with me, I still believe it's Kevin Durant. I understand that you said Harden has been out. I mean, no, I'm going with Stephen Curry. I think it's Stephen Curry. I know you said that. I know that you just said it's James. I know you said James Harden and him has been out, and he's been undefeated 3-0, and he's been averaging 40. But Who did he play those 3 games? Do you remember by chance?
The Pistons. He dropped 51 on the Pistons. He had a 34-point triple-double versus, I don't remember the exact games, but I remember the 51 Pistons game because I watched the entire game, and he orchestrated the whole game, kept it close, and in the fourth quarter, he scored like 10 straight points in the last 3 minutes and ended the game. But it's just what Kevin Durant is able to do individually, it's just nothing short of spectacular, straight up.
So, but they're not contenders. You just said the Pistons, who, if I'm not mistaken, are the worst team in NBA, correct? Or at least
okay. Now, if it was the worst, they are one of the worst teams in the league. Now, let's say he have his casual 30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 50, 40, 90, right? I'll be like, okay, it's the Pistons. But when you overachieve, 51 is an overachievement, no matter who you play. You know what I mean? That's a great game, especially when you have a lineup with Daryl Duke Jr. and Bruce Brown.
Hey, Bruce Brown was getting. Hey man, he was getting some buckets in the playoffs against the Bucks. Man, he was coming up clutch from time to time. Man, don't do my man just like that.
He's a role player though. He's no more. He's no more. At the most, Bruce Brown would get $8 million a year. At the most, that's a great contract for Bruce Brown. $8 million.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is. But I mean, you gotta look at what Stephen Curry did. Okay, he broke the record, and he was trying to go for the record. Like he was trying to get it at home. He was trying what everybody wants to say. He was trying to get it at home. He was trying to get it against the Sixers, but he got it at the Mecca. So when you put that into account, how his team is playing overall, yes, he's not loading the the type of carry. He's not carrying the weight that Kevin Durant is right now, but it still has to be Stephen Curry, bro. I mean, they're the second best team. The record says it all. They've been beating good teams, man. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So, I mean, I don't understand how people are saying it's without a shadow of a doubt it's Kevin Durant. I mean, 3 games, it was against bad teams. So, I'm going to look up the team. I'm going to look up the team.
All right, go ahead. Take a look at it while I give you another little, thought. You got to also remember it's the weight that they carry. Like when you look at Golden State, Steph, he's the secondary playmaker. His main job is to stretch the floor, command the defense so that all of the role players can, get shots and things of that nature. But he have players with defensive assignments on his team. He have Draymond facilitating his offense. He have, all Curry really have to do is shoot at a high level, score, whatever. Kevin, he got a rebound. He's their rim protector for the Brooklyn Nets. He have to score 35, not just 30. Even with Harden out there, Kevin Durant have still been having to carry the Nets because James Harden have been terrible. James Harden for the majority of the season was averaging just 19 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, but he's leading the league in turnovers with 5 turnovers a game. He averages more turnovers than Russell Westbrook. I mean, put that in perspective.
Go look at his usage rate. Now, you are an analytical guy. What is his usage rate? Is he not the top?
James Harden?
Yeah, the number 1?
No. The highest usage rate in the league right now is Luka Doncic.
Okay,
but James Harden does. He's a top 10 usage player. Yes.
So I mean, I would only imagine that he's going to be high in turnovers.
No.
Come on, man. You got to look at the numbers.
When you orchestrate an offense, Chris Paul, LeBron, even Luka, 5 turnovers. I don't care how, unless you're averaging 15 assists, 5 turnovers is not explainable. It's terrible from any elite player. 5 turnovers is too many turnovers. You're giving the other team too many chances. Think about this. James Harden is shooting worse from the field than Russell Westbrook. He's shooting worse, and he's turning the ball over more. And we know Russell Westbrook is one of the most inefficient high turnover players in NBA history. So anytime you outdo him with what he does at his worst, come on, James, you got to be better than that. I expect better from you, James Harden, when you come back, man.
All right, so those three games was against the Pistons, the Raptors, 76ers, and they just played the Magic. I think they lost. I don't know if he played or not, but okay, one team is you could say is a legit contender in the 76ers. The other two, they're just out there in the mix. But okay, I guess I can kind of see where you're coming from. Give me your MVP, not your MVP, but give me your awards right now. Give me your 6 man of the year, your coach of the year. I know I'm kind of shooting from the hip, but I want to see where you
No,
at
you
with the
good. I'm
vibes.
ready. I'm ready. You
Let's
good.
get it.
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Man, my MVP, I'll go top three to keep it short, just so I can have some, diversity in the arguments. I'll go Kevin Durant, Steph Curry,
Okay.
Nikola Jokic. For defensive player of the year, it's real close between Draymond and Gobert.
He's there every year, man. God dang,
and,
man.
and Bam Adebayo was making a great case for defensive player of the year up until his injury and all. You have some good perimeter defenders and Matisse Thybulle, who put on a clinic on Steph Curry against Philly. But if I had to pick three, I'll go right now. I'll go Draymond as my defensive player of the year, Gobert, and then I'll go with Giannis as my third guy. If I had to go most improved player, you got Bridges, you got Ja Morant, you have guys like Tyler Hero, who's taking a big step. Yeah. You have guys like Tyrese Maxey in Philly, who's taking a big step. Cole Anthony in Orlando, who's taking a big step. If you guys haven't checked it out, go look at these guys' numbers, check their progression. These guys are growing fast. But if I had to go with one most improved, I would have to go with I would go with Tyrese Maxey out of Philly. Last year he came off the bench. He was backing up Ben Simmons. Now he's starting for them, giving them 17 points a game, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He's playing great. If I had to go with my 6 man of the year, definitely Tyler Hero out of Miami. Tyler been coming off the bench. He averaged 25 for about the first 10 games. Yeah. As the second set of 10 as the games 10 through 20 came, he kind of cooled down. He's around 22 points right now. But yeah, I have to go with Tyler Hero. My coach of the years, I like to see coaches, who overachieve with a lot less. I wouldn't pick Steve Kerr. I don't like to just basically go with the coach who have the MVP level player who's doing this and doing that. I like coaches like James Borrego in Charlotte. He's doing a lot with his team right now. I think they took a loss last night, but they've been a top 5, top 6 seed for the majority of the season. With the East getting closer and closer, those guys just fell to the AC last night, but it's all 1 game separation, so they can easily be back in the 4 seed. James Borrego, he's been overachieving out there in Charlotte. Wes Unseld Jr. in Washington, he had a good start. Them guys kind of cooled down, lost 8 out of their last 12, which plummeted them down to the 7th seed from the number 1 seed. You also have the coach in Billy Donovan in Chicago. Shouts out to him. Chicago's overachieving. Taylor Jenkins in Memphis. Coach of the year right now has been kind of hard, but I'll probably have to go with Taylor Jenkins in Memphis. Ja Morant been out. Them guys were 10-1 since Ja Morant went down. Dylan Brooks missed the first 15 games under Ja's leadership. Those guys started off, they've been top 4. They started off well. They've been top 4 all year without Dylan Brooks, without Ja Morant, without Steven Adams for some games. Players in and out, inconsistencies in the lineup with COVID, with the injuries and all types of different things. So I have to go with Taylor Jenkins for Coach of the Year right now out of the Memphis Grizzlies. And those are my MVP awards. Those are my awards. Kevin Durant MVP, Draymond Green Defensive Player of the Year, Tyler Hero 6 man of the year, Tyrese Maxey Most Improved, and Coach of the Year. I definitely have to go with Taylor Jenkins out of Memphis.
Okay. All right, cool. Any closing remarks, man? Once again, my guy Kendall Bishop, man, Risky Powerhouse. Any closing remarks, my brother?
Yeah, man. Y'all, one more time, y'all leave a like on the video. Y'all share the video. # Risky Powerhouse. Go check out the channel. We got a video uploading now that should be getting out to you guys in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, man, next 20 minutes. Thanks again, for letting me on the show again, Josh. It's an honor, to come and chop it up with you, to be a part of the growth of your page and your channel and, just to be a part of your show, it's always fun to share thoughts, bounce back and forth off of ideas. And, hopefully, we can get you in the Powerhouse, for a live show. Yeah. And, it'll be great. It'll be great to get you out here, in Raleigh. In Raleigh again. I know it's been some time since the Shark days, right?
Yeah.
You know, it'd be fun to get y'all here in Raleigh, man. You know, have dinner, have lunch or something. I don't know, catch up on some games and, into the powerhouse. So, yeah, y'all go check out that powerhouse. It's me and Josh in the proximity. Y'all will see me later for sure.
Sir. You already know what time it is, man. Once again, Risky Powerhouse, 2 S's, all right? S and S-K-Y. Yeah. Risky Powerhouse, man. Josh's proximity. We out. One more thing before we just leave. Man, Kendall, we got to at least get to a Hornets game or something, man. But without further, Josh's proximity, my brother, we out.